What's going on? I feel like that was a long weekend. I don't even remember trading. Like it seems like the last time I took a trade was like weeks ago. But where we left everything, trading our AMP account, I did increase I'm going to increase my risk up to as close to 250 as I can on each trade. Obviously, depending on the points, I don't want to go over to like 300, so we'll just try to get to 250 as we can, as close to 250 as we can. Last week we did 200 per trade and worked out well for my emotions. So I think going up $50 shouldn't change anything at all. McLovin, nice to see you. Oh, nice. Okay, this little chat thing works good right here. So I'm gonna move. I think I like that better. So I'm gonna move it up here. Then move this down so I can read it. That looks better, doesn't it? Yeah, that looks good. Put it right there. Doesn't seem to update as quick as the YouTube one, but we'll try it. I see I have the YouTube chat on here. What's up, Tyler? Why is this not uploading now or updating? You know, McLovin, I saw a couple times that YouTube would, like I would just happen to see in the corner of my eye, it would say that the stream was getting a little laggy. I don't know. I guess I can lower some bit rate or something, but we'll see how it goes this week. Oh, I don't like that. That looks super. That was really this chat thing's really laggy on here. What's up, Almighty? All right, so I'm bumping up my risk to 250 per trade on AMP. Good morning, Ben. Our TopStep account, I have to make sure that this does not affect me. I'm just gonna take a trade when I see it with one mini, keep my stop, keep my take profit. 850 away from passing that. What's up, Caught? Yes, more money. We can make more money, but we can risk more money. However, my thought is it's $50. We took 4 green trades last week for $800. So going into this week, risking an extra 50 per trade, that's basically the same thing what we were doing last week. It's not that big of a deal. All right, I don't like this chat thing. It's not takes forever to update. So we're just gonna get stuck with this thing, and it looks ugly. Let's see here. Clearly still working our way down. We are in this 1 hour displacement. We did take out these equal lows. I'm originally from, I'm in the States. I don't know. I think you're not in the States, right? And I'm originally from Florida, but I moved to Tennessee like 6 years ago, just for better, cooler weather. Oh, you're in Cali. I don't know who I'm confusing you with. Didn't you come from, didn't 100 lot send you? Alito. I want to move out west. I was just telling a friend of mine, though, this morning how when I move out west, I'm going to have a hard time because I'm not a morning person. I hate waking up. Somebody who watches 100 Lot that came from him, I thought, is like from Germany. You probably know who. I thought that was you. But what's up, Miguel? I don't know if I'll get used to it. I've never liked waking up early. But it will be nice to it would be nice to get up and trade for an hour or two and then have like the whole entire day to do whatever you want. All right, on 1 hour, we clearly have sell side from these lows that were just made this morning. Yeah, that's the gold delta, which I can still do it in Eastern time zone. It's just by the time we're done, it's like 11 a.m. and then it's like half a day, right? The further you go out west, then more time you get. I think we'll just mark out some key areas on the 15-minute. We got these highs all up in here. Again, I don't even need some of these big areas to be taken out, these big liquidity zones. But we'll mark them out and then watch how the market behaves. Again, we're in all this sell side displacement. I mean, obviously, like we always do, we'll mark out some key areas, points of interest. But ultimately, watch on the 1 minute, 1 and 2 minute, and then see what we can see. I'm still confused as to why, like, I made the right decision on Friday. I don't know if you guys remember or not, but right at market open, we had this swing high made and then we displaced down, and I had a sell order at the 50%, and right before we hit, something told me to not take that. I need to figure out why I thought that. I mean, we clearly took out liquidity up here. This was a valid setup for me, but I dodged a bullet by not taking it. Something just told me it wasn't right. Maybe because we didn't go straight to this other side. I don't know. Luckily, we did pick the right move. We shorted this gap and left a lot of money for everybody else. But I want to know why I didn't like this trade. Because now I'm kind of like, I'm scared I'm going to take that trade in the future and not listen to my intuition or whatever that tells me not to take it. All right, now we wait. We wait for market open, and then we wait for a setup. 2 minutes. No news today. Not that it matters, because there's some days where there's no news in the market. Starts doing like massive ranges. Like the idea of the market coming up into this, that gap right there. Take out buy side right into this untested 1 minute fair value gap. The one above it, you can see this one we did test earlier, right before 5. Then had that strong move down. I guess I'm short biased, but I'll take a long if there is a setup. Well, good luck, boys. Stick to your plans. Wait for your setups. Right? So you just gotta, you can have a bias, but you gotta accept that you could be wrong, and the market's showing you something else. I guess I think I'm short. I think I'm short biased based on just like the 1 hour. This move down here, we did take out these equal lows. So we have some strong displacement moving down. So filling in that filling in this fair value gap makes sense on the daily. I know I didn't look at it, but I knew that that was there from when we would check last week. But I'll take whatever setup presents itself that makes sense. These markets are looking like they want to move today. We didn't quite make it up to that fair value gap. We did just barely create a new high on that though. This is one of the hardest parts. You just have to wait. I'm watching how the market reacts whenever we take out like a new low or we take out a new high. Like, is it wanting to displace through it, past it, or is it wanting to just just hit the orders up there and reverse like we did up here? on our weekly, it makes sense to go down into this. I mean, we're already in there, but how far do we want to go down in there? And then eventually we'll be leaving a fair value gap up here if this whole week plays out like that. Then next couple weeks, go up, hit that before we continue. Kind of like we did back here. Create a gap. The week after, dug down almost to this one that we're in. 2-3 weeks after that, came back up, filling in that gap before we displaced down. Oh, nice, McLovin. I didn't pick up any more. I really need to just focus on the accounts I have. We technically have 3, but that one with Apex, you guys know the deal with that one. That one's gonna be tough to bring back to life. I really need to just focus on, mainly I need to focus on this one because I mean it's real money. There's no reason why this should not be my main priority. And then next up would be the TopStep. We're super close to passing, and it was very tempting to get some more free ones, but I really need to just focus on these two. When I think I just feed into my bad habits when I have more accounts. I hate to admit it because I thought that they were helping me. However, I could go over to those and just trade whenever, and it allowed me to continue trading when I need to just practice self-discipline and stop trading when I decide to stop, not feed into it. Which I don't think that I wasn't doing that on the accounts that matter. But instead of feeding into it, maybe I should just address those issues and fix them within myself. And maybe we'll do even better. We take out this sell side, that would be new lows in a very long time. Last time we were down here was in May, and we were ripping up. question will be, do we make these new lows and just keep bleeding, or will we just make a little bit lower lows off of this and chop up and down? What did I write up here? Buy side, sell side? There we go. Now what are we gonna do? So now that like a strong swing, pretty important swing low is just taken out. Now I'd be on the hunt for a setup to take advantage of. But we absolutely could just keep bleeding through this. Yeah, Tyler, I really like to short up at these highs. We didn't quite make it to that fair value gap I was looking at. I don't know if I would have taken it anyways, but I mean, that's close enough. 4 points. We're only 4 points away from it. The risk would have been 15 points to short that. But that trade deviates from my plan just a little bit. Eric. Yes, it sure did, McLovin. Ideally, I like to see some displacement up and take a long. Again, just targeting one-to-ones based on the setup, and I think we eventually take out these highs up here because those are too close together. I think we left some equal highs though on Friday. Yep, right here. We left these. I thought we were going to take those out before we went lower, but we never did. Oh, nice delta. I assume if I drop down to a 30-second, there'll be a setup. There's displacements. Yep, on the 30-second, we just took out the sell side for value gap entry. Just targeting like 12-ish points. All right, well, what in the hell is going on? Yeah, that 30-second fair value gap, but that would have been juicy. 15-point stop, and we're up 70 points now, and it's not turning around. Going straight after those highs. That's a shame, Delta. That's a damn shame. You're gonna need to change your poop schedule so you can so you don't miss it. 9:30 to 10:30 is a no poop zone. I would be okay buying here if it allows us. We're just gonna have to do just have to do 2 contracts though. Took out the sell side, left some equal highs up here. I had other more buy side marked out. Displaced up. if we come back to 50%, we can get in. Sometimes market's not willing to come back though. Like that. You're holding. Are you guys in a trade or are you talking about? Damn. Nice. You guys get in like down here? Yeah, that's awesome, guys. That's gotta feel pretty good for your confidence. McLovin, do you mean having a bias but then being able to take trades against it? Because that's what I used to struggle with when I was trying to come up with daily biases. I would just completely miss if I was wrong, obviously. Yeah. It's almost better to just don't have one than just go in and wait for a setup and then take a setup. Like if you're not looking for, 1 to 200 point move, then I don't think there's really any need. Yeah, if you're trying, ICT takes like 100 to 200 point move sometimes, so he's trying to catch like the whole move. Starting to think that maybe we will just not be taking a trade today, but it's only 9:55. Plenty of time. I would long this if we come back down here. I might want to wait for the OTE entry though. This fair value gap's down here near this lower quadrant. Minute. I check that sometimes. But that 30-second picked the wrong. I stopped looking at the 30-second last week. But Delta called that right there. I mean, you're not risking anything. 20 points. You could aim for the highs. It's a 100-point move off of a 30-second chart. If it doesn't work, it's 20 points. I see. Well, you saw it. I didn't see it. I didn't even click on the 30-second. But I would 100% be sticking with a 1-to-1. So had I gotten in that, I would have left a lot of money on the table again. I would have just done this. But with my scaling plan, it still would have been the same amount of money that I'd be taking on a larger move. All those equal highs were taken out. We just hit this fair value gap. Did we make a new high right there? Nope. See, like if we were to just move, let me start over. If the market comes back down here, I would be interested in taking a long off of somewhere in here. However, we could get a short setup up here and just take that. It's always something, Alito, isn't it? I think I do like the OT entry on this if we come back here. It's right around this order block as well. feel like this morning is taking absolutely forever. Anyone else taking anything? Damn. Yeah, I stopped watching the 30-second after I decided to go after these one-to-ones. But today, kind of regretting that. But we got to stick to the plan. I know, right, Tyler? I feel like I kind of was expecting that move. I just thought we were going to come up further into this before we dropped. But I mean, we were so close. I think it wants to rip too, but is it going to leave this gap open down here? These 1-to-1s are forming for me, but I don't like getting in. I don't want to get in a long after we already had this move up. I'd prefer it to happen right after liquidity was taken. I guess you could make the case that liquidity was taken beneath this swing. We made new lows, then a displace up, enter there, targeting that high. Did the same thing back here, right? Displaced up, couple entries. This might just be a day we skip. We do have like a got a high, low, higher high. But that doesn't mean anything unless we get some displacement. I just really want the market to come back down here. For the foreseeable future, Ben, yes. If I can get the OTE entry, it's not going to be a 1-to-1, obviously, because I got a better entry. I'm going to leave my targets the same. So if we, let's say for instance, we do come back down from here. Got this move up. This halfway point would be the 1-to-1. Longing right here, aiming for that side, obviously 1-to-1. But if I can get this entry, if I were to decide to hold to wait for that, I'm not going to target 1-to-1. I'm still going to target the same side because that's I'm expecting this move to happen. So I'm going to leave my stop and my target same spot, and then maybe sometimes we can get a little bit better risk to reward. What would that be? That'd be like a 1-to-3. But I'm gonna keep track of all of my winning trades. I went back and looked at my over the weekend. I went back and looked at my winning trades last week, and then I'm marking down, did they offer an OTE entry, and then what is the max amount of risk to, what's the max RR for the 50% entry and the OTE entry. And then after like a couple months, I can see Oh, excuse me. I can see if we need to target more points, or if I just stick with 1-to-1 and just keep scaling up. I know it's only 10:13, but feels like it's 11:30 and I'm getting impatient, so I need to be very careful. If we make a run straight from this sell side to this buy side, it's going to be kind of frustrating with a 15-point risk entry on it. But some days the market's just going to move a little differently and we just got to stay out of it. Oh, that's a good idea, Delta. We could try that. Like Friday was perfect. I guess it does make sense to leave this gap open. Early this morning, 5 to 6 a.m., whatever, we traded back and forth in this whole area already. Like we've traded in this already. So then this move down at market open was just to go get that liquidity down there. Once that's done, we've already traded up this, so we can move out of it quickly. I guess there's no need for the market to come back down into that. Struggling because if I decide to skip today and then I come back later and see that the market came down and hit this and kept going further, I'm going to be pissed. Brother Jason's in a short. We take out those highs right there. Yes, we did. Yeah, the 1-to-1 seemed to be a pretty high probability, and I need that for my personality. I really struggle taking losses, so I need to minimize taking losses. And again, I've said this a bunch of times, as long as you can get consistent making any amount of money, you can just scale it up to make more. You don't have to change your targets. You don't need to hold longer to make more. You just scale up and do exactly what you're doing and you will make more. Oh, we're gonna hit that 100K salary real quick, and then we're gonna surpass it. I think I need to make the decision to skip today. Even if I see something now, I need to skip because I've already been thinking it and I can tell my patience is not there. It's just something I struggle with on Mondays. Not every day is going to be ideal. Right? We just went through this last week. I didn't actually basically the same thing happened on Tuesday last week. We had a very small fair value gap form at the lows, and I didn't take it because it didn't break market structure. So I just didn't trust it. And the same exact thing happened. And I skipped that day. And you know what? We made money last week. So I don't have to take a trade every day. It would be ideal if I didn't, because that's less risk. But we have another fair value gap here. We got displacement. If we just targeted 1-to-1, kind of just want to see if that works out. Just sucks. Like, weekends suck as a trader because you can't do anything except like back test and talk about trading, but you can't. It's different, obviously. There's no way to make money. So you wait all weekend, and then Monday morning comes, and then this happens. I don't get an entry, and I have to fight the urge. But it would be extremely stupid to take a trade if it doesn't meet all my requirements and if I'm just not feeling it. And I thought I was feeling it, but that's going away pretty quickly. That would be the 50% right there. This is not a real trade, just curious how that's going to work out. I think it depends, Delta. Some people do it on where we opened on Sunday. Some people do it where we open at 9:30 this morning. This is the good thing about my one-to-one plan with, or not with the one-to-one plan, with scaling to make the same amount of money, is that I could have just made the same amount of money if I had taken this little tiny trade versus if I waited for the market to come all the way back down here and then had to wait for the market to go all the way back up there. Like, these two trades would have been the same amount of money. So now I'm officially frustrated and absolutely not taking anything today. I knew I should have just taken that. I was thinking when I saw that we kept respecting some fair value gaps, at least the one-to-ones, like, damn, that would be a good idea. Hey, you had your stop there for a reason. That was part of the plan. When you got in that trade, you are expecting, or you should be, you're expecting I'm either going to get stopped out or take a winning trade. You get stopped out, no big deal. You just keep moving forward, wait for the next one. It's not a problem. I'm not sure what brother Jason's answer is, but to the question, why short when there's a clear uptrend? My opinion, the trend doesn't matter. We were trending down right here, and then we had obviously I didn't take it, but we had a pretty clear long setup targeting the other side. That would have worked. Yeah. I don't like the phrase, the trend is your friend. Whoa, Alito, one and done. Send me a screenshot. And yeah, like some indicators work until they don't, but it's the same thing with every setup, because not every setup is guaranteed 100% win rate. So you just got to pick something and then stick to it, and then try to see if there's any reason why sometimes they don't work out and adjust your plan. But sometimes it's just not going to work out, and that's not your fault. It's not the strategy's fault. It's not the indicator or your setup's fault. Sometimes it just will not work, because nothing's going to be 100%. But that's really hard to accept. Got another displacement with 50% entry, but it's like don't want to risk it we've already had this little move happen so many times. Kind of, or we had one here, 1-to-1, worked out. We had one here, 1-to-1, worked out here, worked out here. I need to just stay out of today. It's the best. Since I had that thought, I need to stick to it, because as soon as I have the thought that I need to skip today, if I keep going and my trade is a red trade, I'm going to be mad at myself for not just obeying or sticking to staying out of the market and avoiding a red day. But staying out and just watching all this, I mean, we just watched this for an hour, over an hour. That's one of the hardest things to do. Looking good, Alito. Now just leave it alone. Come back tomorrow. Your future self this evening will thank you if you just leave that alone. Mm. $659. Did we hit it? Oh damn, you got close. You got super close. My opinion, we just had that fair value gap form. You could probably keep it beneath here, right? And then if that, then we're definitely turning around. But I mean, you do what you got to do based on your plan. I also need to be very careful because we're so close to passing that TopStep account. I don't want to make a bad decision and start moving backwards. Here's the thing, Tyler. You're either going to hit your take profit or your stop wherever it's at. The important thing is you stick with your plan and let it play out. Doesn't matter. Looks like you may have gotten stopped out right there. Nope, close. God, that thing's getting close to you. But it doesn't matter if you get stopped out. That's part of the plan. You take your setup and you stick to it. That's a win when you do. Uh-oh. All right. Well, it was part of your plan. You moved your break even there for a reason and you left it. You better not be trading Alito. Oh, we better be good. Yeah, we are pacing it. That was painful. This move up. I'd like a short here. I'm not taking anything, but a short up here targeting this gap. Well, if I had more risk, if I had a higher risk tolerance, I'd be shorting this. Stop up here, targeting that fair value gap, and then freaking reverse it. Right in that gap. I want to short that so bad. Maybe we can get fake stopped out to prove that I'm not thinking clearly right now because my patience is gone. This was very odd behavior. Hate when we have we had a quick move down, quick move up, and then for 40 minutes just slowly grind up. Trading from behind. You mean like in the red? If you're down on an account? Is that what you mean? Yeah. Just try not to think about that. Just try to focus on waiting for whatever setups you're looking for. Took me a month to grind back what I lost in the beginning of September, but I freaking did it. It sucked knowing every day I'm not adding to my profit. I'm just trying to get back to where my account was in the beginning of the month. But once I did it, and then looking back, it's like that's the proper way to trade. I can do that if I need to. I'm about to close them too, Alito. Right. I feel okay with my decision about skipping today. Plus, like there's been other weeks where I can look back and be like, it's a good thing I didn't trade that day, because had I traded, most likely would have taken a loss. Taking no trades is better than taking red trades. Yeah, that's a tough thing with the prop accounts, Delta. Ben and Prado, you guys are doing good though. More of those trades you took today, you'll be in good shape. All right, so our fake trade got stopped out. I don't have the patience for today. Well, I mean, I obviously had the patience. I just sat here for almost 2 hours. Oh God, maybe I'm just too tired today, but I never got a setup. Never got a setup. I did get displacement with a 50% entry on these little guys, but that's not really what I'm looking for. I want liquidity taken and then that to happen. We had that down here. The time frames that we're watching, we never got an entry. That 30-second entry would have worked. However, wasn't watching it, and I would have only taken this out of it, because that's all I'm aiming for, like right there. So probably better just stay out. Yeah, we didn't get it on the 1 minute. We didn't really get it on the 2 minute either. The 2 minute actually, 2 minute looks worse than the 1 minute. There was absolutely nothing on the 2 minute. The 1 minute did offer some, just not really what I'm looking for. And if it's not like an A+ setup, I don't need to be taking it. Any one of these could have failed, and I would be more upset because it wasn't. I would have settled for a lesser quality setup. So I'm going to jump off. You guys have a good rest of your day. Be careful if you continue trading. Good job to everyone who stuck to their plans, regardless if it was a winning trade or a losing trade. We all take winning trades and we all take losing trades. That's just part of it. So you guys have a good one. Thanks for sticking around, even though I didn't take anything. But that's just trading. Sometimes we don't get them. See you guys tomorrow.